There are no problems to solve because every problem is solvable. There are really no questions to answer because every question is answerable. There's just, how am I going to delight myself with co-creative experience right here and now? That's what we want you to begin to feel about your life. Happy to talk to you about whatever you want to talk about, but that's the basis of everything. We're happy to guide you, but we want to insert something really briefly here, and that is, we want to say to you that there are just a handful of things that you're wanting to know, which you do know. And now, knowing what you know and understanding that you can pose any question to the universe, and then any question that you pose will be answered, it's sort of like we only have one answer, and that answer is tend to your point of attraction and let the universe yield to you whatever it is you're asking for. It sort of reduces down to, what is it that I want to focus upon in this moment, and how do I want to be surprised and delighted by the universal forces and the fairies of the universe and the consequences of my alignment right here and right now. Doesn't it? Aren't you sort of at the place where you understand that all potential is there for you, and don't you just want to focus upon whatever it is that will please you in a satisfying way in this moment in terms of discussion? You don't need us in this format in order to have answers to everything. You could wake up in the morning and you could identify something that you have a slight or intense interest about, and you could say, I'm looking forward to the way this will be revealed to me today, and endless ways of the revelation of that will come to you once you're in that place of expecting it to come. So that begs the only question, how can I stay here? And the answer is you can't, which begs another question, well, how can I be there more often? Which brings the answer, we'll do it first thing in the morning, which begs the question, well, what if I fall off the disc? Which brings the answer, it doesn't matter. So how can I do more of this? By recognizing how much of it you are doing. We want you to not care about the next moment, only this one. Because this is the moment where all of your options and only your options apply. This is the moment where you choose the disc. And this is the moment where you focus and see what having chosen that disc brings you. This is the moment of satisfaction. This is the moment of intellectual stimulation. This is the moment of fun. This is the moment of the feeling of worthiness. This is the moment of the feeling of pride and clarity and alignment. This is the moment. This is the moment. There isn't anything beyond this moment ever. It's always this moment. So this moment's affected by the disc I have chosen, but it's really only affected by the disc I am choosing. That's the thing that we want you to begin focusing on. The disc I am choosing now. How do I choose to feel now? In some ways, we're sort of taking this away from the physical world in which you are accustomed to living. And so when you feel as you feel and you're in this place and you want more and more and more, then you milk this moment. So you get more specific in this moment. So one way would be to become as descriptive as you can of what you are feeling. So I like this feeling. I want to keep it going. I like to feel the empowerment that is me. I would like to feel this force field around me. I would like to be a catalyst to assist others in finding it. You just milk it. You just focus there and milk it. In the absence of efforting, or in the presence of faith or belief or expectation or knowing that it is going to work out, then you don't accidentally introduce any resistance into the equation, and then what you want manifests in the moment. And now anything that we say is only about moving you to the higher disc. So since you were already there, why not just stay there? Why not make it complicated? Why not just not get carried away with it? Why not just bask in the alignment and leave it there? We want you to understand that from that high-flying disc, it's fun to contemplate. One of the things that Esther enjoys most about a new analogy is then working back through other analogies and seeing how they dovetail with the new analogy. Because it just sort of secures your footing all that much more. And so we are never wanting to give you the impression that we don't want you to have step one moments where you are not on that high-flying disc. We want you to have those contemplative moments where you are asking for something to be improved from where you are. We're just today so much wanting to make the point with all of you that you're working too hard at all of this, and that you've put enough into your vortex to keep yourself busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes, and that the paths of least resistance have been carved out on all of those things. And since These things are not relevant. You think they are, but they are not. Since you're not proving worthiness to anyone, so you can give a whole lot of it up. Since you're never going to convince anybody of anything that they don't already understand from the disc that they're already on, then your explanations are sort of irrelevant. They're just a whole lot of going through the motions of life that you are doing that you are not enjoying that much, that if we were you, we would give them up. In other words, if a question is really satisfying, it is really fun. We can feel some of you. Esther enjoys it too when she listens back to the recording. It is really a remarkable thing that this many people can be focused on a topic and stay up to speed with where we are, so much so that when we find the new nugget, you're right there ready to receive it. And it's because you are vibrationally in the vicinity, and when the new nugget is revealed or realized by some, it is realized by most. That's the power of the synergy. That's what the power of influence is, you see. And so you are uplifters. You are uplifters. That's who you are. You were born. Most of you who have come into this gathering have come consciously recognizing that you are teachers to the very core of your being. But what you have come mostly to experience is the realization of your own personal power and the exhilaration of now exercising your own personal power toward the creation of anything that this life can help you to define. And there's just a richness in that is nearly unspeakable, of when you get hold of that realization of who you are and you understand just minimally these laws of the universe, and you acknowledge that the way you feel is your indication of what vibrational point of attraction you've got going on, so that you are able to consciously determine whether you want to increase momentum or decrease momentum, whether you want to become more specific or whether you want to become less specific. And as you start applying just that very simple understanding, and you increase the momentum when you feel good, and then you try your best to distract yourself when you don't, and then you watch the universal response to all of that, what's right around the corner for you is a sensation of clarity and invincibility that then sort of sets you, because of your new pipes, into a whole new modality of creation. Because now, instead of just trying to figure out how you're going to pay your rent, or try to figure out how you're going to keep your own house clean, or try to figure out who's going to mow your yard, or how you're going to get your car paid for or maintained, instead of those kinds of things, how you're going to get along with the people that you work with, those kinds of things that take up quite a bit of your thought process, now you've had a sort of paradigm shift. Not so different from someone who's made their transition into non-physical. You now understand things in another way. You now begin to see the world through the eyes of Source. And now different things get your attention that never got your attention before. It's like a whole new buffet opens up around you right where you stand. So walking right down the same streets, in the same neighborhoods, even in some cases with the same people, moving through the same cities, in the same time-space reality, you are at a wavelength where different things are now occurring to you. And they are different enough and in vibrational harmony enough with the newfound vibration that you have accomplished, that now your whole world looks different and you are renewed in this life experience. You feel like you felt when you first got here. You're eager about life. You feel unguarded about things. And now the combination of co-creative partners that comes together with you is so intoxicating. You have a conversation with someone that takes you into a place of enlightenment that you have not been before, and the satisfaction of that co-creation with this co-creation, the synergy of all that you are, gives you the sensation of empowerment and beingness and appreciation that you want to describe as what it feels like when you are in heaven. You have figured out a way how to bring all that is good and focus it into this moment in time. And there is an experience of living in that understanding that is the reason that you think that you want to do or be or have all of the things that you want to do or be or have. In other words, you want the experience of what it feels like to hear the magnificent music and the good energy as you're in the audience at the concert. But when you're standing on the stage with them, it's even better. And when you're moving inside the music with them, it's even better. And what we're getting at here is that every moment in time has the potential, whether you know it or not, to yield more depth and more satisfaction than you have allowed it so far. And so what you're reaching for is the paradigm shift. What you're reaching for is the laying of new pipes. What you're reaching for is the newfound vibration that gives you the newfound perspective, that gives you the newfound life experience right here and now. And if you would stop measuring what everybody else's experience is and comparing their experience to yours and just savor the newfound experience that you just found as a result of the new energy work that you just did, now you're feeling like you felt when you decided to come. And now you're looking around this palette of life experience around you and you're appreciating all of them in their diversity. And there's not one of them that annoys you, because every one of them you feel appreciation for, because the entire palette is what has given you the perspective that has now caused you to focus in the way that is allowing you to feel like you now feel. And then you discover it wasn't just getting to the new house, although that was nice. And it wasn't just driving the new car, although that's nice. And it wasn't the new relationship. It's not the new lover. It's not even the new, it's not the new manifestation of anything. It's the new perspective that you have achieved as you are standing in that environment. Your environments keep shifting to match your vibrational acuity. And that's really what we're talking about here today. Talking about your ability to perceive this world in the way that you intended and to keep up with the ever-changingness of this world because of the co-creating that you're doing within it. The world is not the same as a result of this conversation that we've all had here together today. This conversation has never been unto all of the universe. And this many minds focused upon these laws of the universe has accomplished a paradigm shift that will bring for you evidence of everything that we've talked about. And we promise you that as the evidence comes, your satisfaction factor will be off the charts, you see. And others will look at you walking around on the same streets, living in the same neighborhoods, and they will not be able to understand why you feel the way you feel. And if you do not try to explain it to them, you'll stay there. If you don't try to bring them along too, or if you don't try to debate whether they should or shouldn't be there, or if you don't try to understand why they're not, if you just stay where you are and practice the vibration of who you are until the universe helps you to confirm it, to affirm it, to know it, to manifest it, to be it, to own it, until you ooze it, till you radiate it, and then you are the influencer of others as well. You seek to uplift them, but your work is not to uplift them. Your work is to accomplish your alignment with the source within you. Everything else takes care of itself. Think you're ready for what's about to come? Yes. Do you believe, and this is the most important question of the day or ever, do you believe that in a few short hours of focused intensity that you can set the tone for what happens next? Yes. We like that you know that. And so now we just want to tell you this one small thing. Everything that we just told you about your future experience, we love you so much, only applies today. In other words, tomorrow, you got to start it over again. Tomorrow, you got to pick the disc and get the momentum going. And the next day, you got to pick the disc and get the momentum going. You can't fall back into old pipes and get that momentum going. This momentum is good for today, but it's enough for you to know the power of it. And we'll be right there with you, reveling in each and every cooperative component that is queued up and ready to reveal itself to you.